Zara looked me in the eye and said, I just need time to think. Alone. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I backed off. Gave her the space she asked for. But 3 days later, I found her checked into a luxury spa suite with her best friend Diana. Robes. Champagne. One bed. That's how I found out the woman I was about to marry wasn't confused. She was already moving on, with someone I was stupid enough to trust. Let me ask you this. If your fiancé said they needed space, and then you caught them on what looked like a honeymoon with someone else, what would you do? Drop a comment. I need to know I'm not the only one who thinks this is messed up. And if you've ever been blindsided by someone you loved, hit that like button. Trust me, you're going to want to hear how this all went down. Let's rewind. Her name was Zara Hayden. 29, smart, gorgeous, the kind of person who could walk into a room and instantly have everyone's attention. Not by trying, but just by being her. I'm Corey Bass, 33, software engineer. Pretty normal dude. I don't light up a room. I just make sure the lights are working. We met through mutual friends, Amara Moreno and Caspin Fernandez. A casual game night turned into something more. It was slow at first, organic, the kind of connection you don't force, you just fall into. For years later, I was down on one knee in front of the fountain at Bishop Square. She said yes. It felt like winning the lottery and finally being smart enough not to spend it all in one place. We moved in together 2 years ago, got a dog together, named him Milo, started picking out wedding venues and arguing about napkin colors. Normal stuff, right? But looking back, something shifted around month 6 of our engagement. Zara became distant. Not like cold shoulder distant. No, this was more like emotional drift. Like her body was still there, but her mind was in another zip code. She'd say she was tired, stressed, burnt out from wedding planning. So I backed off, gave her space even before she asked for it. And then there was Diana Roach, her best friend. Diana had always been around. Brunch dates, wine nights, random road trips. No big deal. I thought she was cool. A little loud, maybe. Always posting cryptic quotes on Instagram like, if you're not being chosen, choose yourself. Red flag? Maybe. But I didn't see it then. I trusted Zara. Diana was her person. Her ride or die since college. I never once thought she'd be the one to set fire to everything. But when you're engaged, you don't think betrayal's coming from inside the inner circle. You're busy building a life, not watching your fiancé's best friend like a hawk. Still, I'd be lying if I said there weren't moments that felt off. I'd walk into the living room, and the two of them would go silent. They'd exchange looks. Inside jokes I wasn't part of. One night, I came home late from work, and Zara was asleep on the couch, Diana's hoodie draped over her like a blanket. I didn't think anything of it then, but in hindsight will punch you in the face with stuff you should have seen coming. And the worst part, I still loved her, even when things were weird, even when she started pulling away, because that's what love does. It gives people the benefit of the doubt, until one day it just can't anymore. It was a Thursday night. I remember because I had just picked up Zara's favorite Thai takeout, green curry, extra spicy, no bamboo shoots. She walked in the door quiet. No, hey babe. No smile. Just this weird energy. You know, when someone's mentally somewhere else and their body's just going through the motions. Yeah, that. I handed her the food, tried to lighten the mood. Rough day. She just sat down at the kitchen counter, didn't even open the bag. And then, without even looking at me, she said it. I need some time. My heart stopped. Time for what? She took a deep breath, like she was rehearsing this in her head all day. Not forever. Just a few days alone. To clear my head. No contact, okay? Please. I blinked. Wait, is this about the wedding? Are you having second thoughts? No, she said. Too fast. It's not about you. Or the wedding. It's me. I need clarity. Clarity. That word hit different. like when your browser crashes and gives you the spinning wheel of death, but in your chest. I asked where she was going. She said she'd booked an Airbnb by the coast. Just her. Somewhere quiet. No phone, no email, no distractions. Don't worry, she said. It's not a breakup. I'm not leaving. I just need air. Part of me wanted to push back, ask questions, but the other part, the part still in love, just nodded and said, okay. Because when someone tells you they're drowning, you don't hand them weights. I helped her pack a small bag. She kissed me on the cheek, said, I'll call you Monday. And then she was gone. I spent the rest of the night sitting on the couch with Milo, scrolling through old pictures of us on my phone. Us at that lake in Big Bear, laughing while trying to make pancakes on a camp stove. Us dancing in the kitchen at 1 a.m. to a song neither of us knew the words to. I kept telling myself, she just needs time. She'll come back. But deep down, that gut feeling, that little voice, it was already screaming. So yeah, I respected it. I didn't text her, didn't call, not once, even though every part of me wanted to. I kept rereading that last message she sent. Please don't reach out until Monday. Like my love was suddenly some kind of distraction she needed to get away from. I didn't eat much, just microwaved leftovers and stared at the walls. Milo kept pacing like he knew something was off. On Friday night, I called my best friend, Miles Harrington. Known him since college. Solid dude. Straight shooter. Told him Zara had gone off-grid to find clarity. He paused for maybe half a second and said, Bro, she's cheating. I snapped. No, she's not. Come on, it's Zara. She's just overwhelmed. Miles didn't raise his voice, but he said something that got under my skin. People don't need to disappear to breathe. They do it when they don't want to be seen. I hung up, told myself he was wrong, that he was projecting. But once you plant that seed, it starts growing like a weed in your head. So on Saturday morning, I did something I hadn't even thought about since she left. I opened our shared Google Calendar. We used it for everything: dentist appointments, work schedules, dinner plans. And one of the features we'd turned on ages ago, location sharing, just made things easier back then. I clicked her name, not even thinking, just curious. I expected to see a pin somewhere along the coast. Instead, my screen loaded a spot about an hour away from our place, the Estella Grand, a 5-star spa resort. Not exactly the kind of place you rent when you're trying to be alone with your thoughts. My chest got tight. I zoomed in. There was no Airbnb listed near it, just hotels. I told myself, maybe she changed her mind. Maybe the Airbnb fell through. Maybe she's treating herself to a massage. But in my gut, that little voice was back, louder this time, screaming. My hands were shaking when I clicked the website. The Estella Grand Hotel. I'd driven past it before, one of those places with marble fountains out front and valet guys in little white gloves. Not exactly the kind of spot where people go to reflect alone. I stared at that location pin on the map for a long time. I could have let it go. I could have respected her space a little longer. But the longer I waited, the more my heart started folding in on itself. So I picked up the phone and called the front desk. Hi, this is Corey Hayden, Zara's husband. I wanted to surprise her with some flowers. Can you confirm she's checked in? I said it smooth. Didn't let the crack in my voice sneak out. The receptionist didn't even hesitate. Yes, sir, Ms. Hayden is currently in one of our Ocean View double suites. Room 504. A double suite for someone who was supposed to be there alone. I didn't say another word, just hung up. Something inside me shifted, like heartbreak, got tired of being sad, and stood up straight. I grabbed my keys, told Milo I'd be back soon, like he understood, and got in the car. The whole drive there felt like a movie, but one of those scenes where the music is low and haunting and the lead character is slowly realizing they've been living in a lie. I kept thinking, maybe Diana drove up just to check on her. Maybe they're having drinks, talking about life, laughing like friends. But you don't lie about being alone. You don't block the person you're engaged to from checking in. You don't book a double suite when all you need is peace and quiet. I pulled into the hotel's underground parking lot. My stomach was in knots. My heart? A cinder block. I didn't have a plan. I just knew I needed to see it with my own eyes. Needed to know if I was crazy, or if the person I was going to marry had already replaced me before the vows were even written. I walked into the lobby. It smelled like citrus and lavender and betrayal. And then, across the room, past the front desk, past the bar, I saw her. Zara, in a white robe, hair damp, holding a glass of champagne, laughing, sitting next to Diana, also in a robe, also sipping champagne. And for a split second, just a flash, I saw it. Diana leaned in, whispered something. Zara giggled, touched her leg, and then they kissed. Not a drunk, silly peck. Not a friendly goodbye. A kiss. Intimate. Soft. Familiar. My knees almost gave out. For years together. 2 years of living under the same roof. 1 ring. 1,000,000 I love yous. All of it. Crashing into that one single moment like a freight train. I couldn't stop. I didn't storm up. I didn't yell. I turned and walked straight to the elevator. I didn't know what I was doing. I walked back up to the front desk, palms sweating, heart pounding like it was trying to punch out of my chest. "Hi," I said calmly. "I'm checking in. Name's Eric Lucero." Shout out to my coworker Eric. He just canceled a weekend trip, and I knew his reservation hadn't been used. The receptionist smiled, handed me the key card. I nodded. No small talk, just survival mode. I took the elevator to the 5th floor and found a spot down the hall from room 504, behind a fake palm plant next to the ice machine. I waited. Maybe 10 minutes passed. Then I heard the elevator ding. They stepped out, still in their spa robes, giggling, clinking glasses like they were celebrating something. Zara leaned her head on Diana's shoulder. My stomach flipped. Diana pulled out the key card and Zara opened the door, laughing like this was the best weekend of her life. Then it happened. Right there in the hallway, before stepping in, Diana kissed her. Not drunk. Not by accident. A real kiss. Like it was normal. Like it was theirs. The door clicked shut. I stood there for another 30 seconds, just staring at the wood grain pattern like it had answers. Then I walked up and knocked. 3 hard taps. A few seconds later, the handle turned. Diana opened it, still holding her champagne glass. The second she saw me, her face dropped like she saw a ghost. "Corey?" Zara appeared behind her, barefoot, robe slightly undone, face pale. I locked eyes with her. "So," I said, calm as hell, "this is your alone time?" She didn't say anything. Not right away. Just opened her mouth like words were struggling to find a way out. Finally she stammered, "It's not what it looks like." I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was pathetic. Diana stepped in. "Corey, you weren't supposed to find out like this." Like they were planning a better time to reveal they'd been hooking up behind my back while I was planning our wedding. Zara took a step forward. "I was going to tell you after the weekend. I just needed to be sure." "Be sure?" I repeated, still calm. "Be sure if she was worth blowing up your entire life." Her lips trembled. "It's not like that." "No," I said. "It's exactly like that." And then I stepped back. No yelling. No drama. No grand exit. I just turned around and walked. Down the hall. Into the elevator. Out the front door. Into the kind of silence that feels louder than a stadium. I didn't know what I was going to do next. But I knew one thing for sure. Whatever we were done. I drove home in silence. No music. No tears. Just the sound of my own breathing and the faint click of the turn signal as I turned into the apartment complex. When I stepped into the place we used to call ours, it already felt different. I looked around at the photos on the wall, the candles she liked, the throw pillows Diana helped her pick out. And I thought, nah, you don't get to do this to me and keep your fingerprints all over my life. First thing I did? Changed the locks. Called the locksmith before I even took my shoes off. Emergency service, please. New deadbolt. No duplicates. An hour later, Zara's key was useless. Then I went into my bedroom. Opened her closet. Grabbed every piece of clothing, makeup, perfume, notebooks, yoga mat, and even that stupid pink robe with the stitched Z on the pocket. Bagged it all. Boxed it neatly. Didn't throw or rip anything. Just packaged it like I was returning something that didn't belong to me. I even tied the boxes with string, because I'm petty and polite. Then I drove back to the Estella Grand, walked up to the front desk with her stuff in a rolling cart and said, "Hi, can you deliver this to room 504? She'll know what it's for." Left a card on top that read, "Room's in your name now. Hope it's worth it." Walked out and didn't look back. Oh, but we weren't done yet. The car Zara drove, that shiny black SUV she always bragged about on Instagram, leased in my name. I logged into the account and revoked her authorization. Called the dealership and told them the situation. They scheduled a pickup. 2 days later, they came to her job, where she and Diana both worked, by the way, and towed it away right in front of her. No warning. No heads up. Just gone. Then came the wedding venue. $4,000 deposit. I paid it. The contract was under my name, so I canceled it. The coordinator was surprisingly chill once I told her what happened. "You'd be shocked how often this kind of thing happens," she said. I got $3,000 of it back. Used part of it to get new furniture. A couch without her perfume on it. A bed no one else had ever lied in. And the friends? Oh man, we had mutuals. Some closer to her, some closer to me. But there was one person who knew everything. Legacy Kelly. Zara's old college roommate. Our mutual friend. A firecracker with zero filter and zero patience for betrayal. I told her everything. The kiss. The hotel. The lies. She didn't just nod and offer sympathy. No. Legacy went nuclear. Group chats? She lit them up. Social media? She didn't name names, but the shade was obvious. Imagine planning a wedding while secretly planning a sleepover with your maid of honor. Couldn't be me. It took maybe 48 hours before Zara's little bubble started popping. The spa trip wasn't just a vacation. It was a landmine. And I wasn't even the one who triggered it. I just stood back and let gravity do its thing. I didn't hear from Zara for a full day after the hotel drop-off. No texts, no calls, just silence. Then came the flood. First, it was a long message at 2 a.m., the kind someone writes after 2 glasses of wine and a guilty conscience. I didn't mean for it to happen like this. It was just confusing. Diana's always been there for me. It wasn't planned. "I still love you, Corey." I didn't reply. Next, she posted this tearful, shaky selfie video on her private Instagram. You know the kind, dim lighting, mascara slightly smudged, voice all soft like she's narrating a documentary on heartbreak. To those who are confused about what's going on, I just want to say, I never meant to hurt anyone. I've been going through a lot emotionally. I made mistakes, big ones, but I'm human, and I was overwhelmed. Comments were turned off. Classic, but the damage was already out there. Meanwhile, I didn't say a word. I didn't drag her name. I didn't post screenshots. All I did was forward 2 photos, one of Zara and Diana in the spa, and one of the kiss to a single person, Eric Lucero. Eric is not just my friend. He's also Diana's boss. No threats. No angry message. I just sent them with the text. Thought you should see this before you're caught in the PR mess. Diana was let go 3 days later. Company policy violation. Conduct. Whatever reason they gave her, she knew it was tied to me. But I didn't even say her name. And that was enough. After Zara's car got repoed, after her spa suite turned into a breakup crash site, she tried to move in with Diana. Big romantic move, right? Live-in lovers. Except they lasted 3 weeks. Apparently, it turns out their connection wasn't so magical when it wasn't wrapped in hotel robes and champagne. Constant arguments. Zara being too emotional. Diana needing space. Oh, the irony. Diana kicked her out. According to Legacy, who hears everything, Zara showed up on her mom's doorstep a week later, suitcase in hand, saying she needed a fresh start. Meanwhile, I was at home repainting the living room. Milo curled up by my side. No drama. No apology video. Just peace. And silence. Beautiful, earned silence. You know, I've replayed the whole thing 100 times. The moment she said she needed space. The drive to the hotel. The kiss in the hallway. And every single time, I land on the same thought. Zara didn't just betray me. She weaponized my trust. She looked me in the eyes, asked me for time to think, and what she really meant was, give me a guilt-free weekend to try someone else on for size. That's the part that stings the most. Not the kiss, not the lies, not even the car I paid for. It's that she didn't have the guts to just be honest. She wanted a trial run with Diana, a soft launch affair, while keeping me as the backup plan. And Diana? She didn't just betray me, either. She knew what we had. She sat at our table. She toasted to our engagement. And the whole time, she was probably thinking I can take this from him. But here's the thing. They thought they could ease me out quietly. Like I'd go down easy, confused, heartbroken, too nice to fight back. What they didn't expect was me cutting the cord clean. No begging. No second chances. No talking it out. Just cold, clear boundaries, and the door locking behind them. And that felt better than revenge ever could. Since then, I repainted the apartment, got a new couch, new playlist, took Milo on road trips, let him ride shotgun with the windows down and his ears flapping like little wings, bought a guitar and started learning to play. First song I nailed, Go Your Own Way. Yeah, fitting. And me? I'm good. Better than I've been in years. I sleep easy. I laugh louder. I walk around this apartment knowing there are no secrets hiding in my closet. Zara asked for space, so I gave her something better, an entire world without me in it. And guess what? It turns out I'm the best thing she'll ever regret. If you've ever had someone lie to your face and try to replace you like you're just part of their routine, then you know what this feels like. Drop a comment below. Tell me your story. Let's build a whole wall of people who refuse to be the backup plan. Hit that like button if you've ever walked away stronger. And if you're done letting people play with your time, your heart, or your peace, subscribe. There are more stories like this, and you're not alone. I promise.